it's really easy to treat it like a hobby and then be a year down the road and think, wait, I haven't sold a house. There's no secret sauce in this. No, it's just relationships, and they have to be authentic relationships.
We're back for another 2020 real estate episode, and this time we're with another Southerner, thank God, because I've been dealing with a lot of other people recently. But no, Aubrey LaRue is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, fellow 30 on 30 alum, but also a badass. And we've tried to have this conversation twice now, so I'm excited to finally get it in. So thanks for spending some time with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So got a couple questions. And for those people just kind of watching for the first time, we try and do about 20 questions, 20 minutes, nothing too crazy, but also we'll just go down rabbit trails if we want to. And if you got something you want to ask, just jump on in. So I like talking in terms of talking to newer agents. I feel like there's a lot of fluffing and bluffing out there of these people that think they're influencers and, they say cool things. I had one the other day. I was at a conference. She gave this framework that she's like, you should be doing this and this. And it was so much that I don't think my 5-person staff could have done it. Right. And she's talking to like brand new people. So you've been in the business about a decade, right? And so what do you think some of the biggest lessons you've learned starting out that kind of really formed your mindset or shifted your mindset going forward?
Consistency is key. You're not going to learn everything overnight. Real estate sounds really easy when you're not in it.
Yeah.
Social media and reality shows, unfortunately, I feel like paint a picture that is just so unrealistic. And you have to treat it like a business. I think that's the other thing. It's really easy to treat it like a hobby and then be a year down the road and think, wait, I haven't sold a house. Why is that? Why aren't all my friends and family just coming to me? But yeah, just being consistent in the small things daily is what makes you successful at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's my daughter had a little award ceremony, but she's 8th grade and honor society stuff. And when the speaker was saying, we've all heard it, but it just, I don't know what resonated that day, like consistency eats talent for lunch any day of the week kind of thing.
Totally.
It's so true. So true.
Yep.
So you're a lead agent, right? So you're running the team and you're a success coach. So what were some of the things that if an agent came to you and said, hey, I want to get off on the right foot, get started, what would be some of the framework you would recommend for them to kind of really put their time and energy into?
Okay. So we have a 30, 60, 90 plan, and it's really important to stick to that. And it's kind of two sides. It's, learning kind of the process of real estate, learning the market, but then also learning the systems. And like for me, I'm someone that struggles with systems. It's why I've been on a team for 10 years and I have people on the back end that help me. I think honestly, that's the part that people don't talk about enough. So for new agents, get good systems. You don't have to reinvent the wheel either. There's so much stuff out there. So having a good CRM, and I know a lot of brokerages provide them, I don't know what each one uses, but take advantage of that. Take advantage of like the email blast, the 36 touch programs out there again. And now with AI too, I would say, but I'm also the person who I don't like to rely too much on AI. I know you have to learn it because that's just the way our world is going. Make sure it's still personal enough. But again, have a good systems to where it's helping you work to remind yourself, these are the people I need to reach out today. Here's what I need to say. Here's what I need to do. And then also just taking as many classes as you can about the market, about what's going on. Take advantage of your brokerage. Like I'm at Keller Williams. The reason I'm still there after 10 years is I think we have some of the best training in the world. And we even have agents at our market center or people that are not part of our market center come and we open up our training to other agents just because, again, our market is fickle right now. She's nuanced. And so it's important just to learn the market. Because once you learn more, your confidence will come up, and that is what's going to help you be more confident when speaking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of times you've mentioned like learning more or taking classes, and I know you have a strong market knowledge. Like you rest on that. Like, what ways do you stay in touch with what ways do you grow? Like I had a call the other day with my agents, some of my actual agents. I'm like, what did you do this week to learn more? Because I'm reading books, I'm doing stuff even 20 years into it. But like, how do you stay fresh? And would you rely on for new agents to kind of learn or take or do?
Sure. again, going back to our market center does a lot of the work for us.
Yeah.
Again, work smarter, not harder. We have some really awesome programming that goes super deep into the data. And there's a learning curve into even understanding what all that data means. But there's stuff out there. And again, AI can help you too, but always fact check, because I have found that not always reliable. But again, like, instead of just doom scrolling
Right.
reality shows, like sometimes I may or may not do, there's so much content for real estate out there. I mean, so again, between your market center or your brokerage, Instagram, I don't have TikTok, but I'm sure that there's a million TikTok real
Same
estate
way.
things. And then also get a mentor. I know sometimes people are really afraid of that because real estate is so hyper competitive, but realtors like to talk.
Yeah.
And again, and honestly, most of them actually really do like to help too,
Yeah.
because there is enough business to go around. So find yourself a good mentor as well that has been in your shoes and that has seen what has gone on in your market, because that's what's important too. Like my brother lives in New York City and they're looking for a house right now. And they've asked me for some advice and I'm like, I can't really help you. I can tell you some like basic real estate stuff, but I know nothing about that market. It's so
Correct.
different. So find people that you trust in your market and ask them for coffee, because like I get a call or a text probably once a month from someone, either a new agent or someone wanting to get into the industry. And they're really great conversations. They really, really are. So super helpful.
Yeah, you really brought up a good point, and I've never really thought too much about making sure your mentor is more local. But you're
Very,
right,
yeah.
because if you've got somebody, you're in Chattanooga, I'm in Columbia, you got somebody from the West Coast, and like, you should go door knock, and you're like, we don't really do that down here because
Mm-hmm.
people have guns. But or the same thing, like
Correct.
population density. Like, I don't do open house.
Yes.
Well, I don't do anything, but my agents don't do open houses. We don't necessarily think they're relevant. But my buddy in
Right.
Boston, he does them 4 times a week, and he gets business because the population density can warrant people just literally walking by and seeing it. We're a car driving there,
Yes.
so
Same. I think
yeah,
Columbia and Chattanooga are probably similar
yeah,
in that.
for
Like,
sure.
and also I just feel like open houses have changed. I think the pandemic changed a lot. And I feel like the ones that you still see a lot of traction are the ones that are really interesting, different type of listings that people just like want to go in, but
Yeah,
it's not what sells houses anymore. So
yeah,
I agree with that. But yeah, trying to find someone local, and like bouncing ideas off of like Frank Trimble, who I work with. He's born, raised Chattanooga. He
yeah.
knows everything about the area. And so, I mean, I would not be able to do it without him. Like I bounce everything off of it. And still, I've been in almost a decade. I'm still sending him properties being like, hey, I'm trying to comp this because
Yeah,
it's just wild out there.
yeah, yeah.
And
Second pair of
so
eyes is great.
trying to get another set of eyes on it has been really helpful.
So you also bring up you talk about Trimble Homes, which is the
Yeah.
team you work with, right? So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm a big team advocate. How have you
Sure.
felt teams can accelerate your growth, and what
Oh,
should agents look out for? Because there's a lot of teams out there that are really just kind of a circle of friends ish. So like, I want to help if you could help navigate some agents through teams.
sure. Again, I am someone who needs accountability. I
Right.
work better in a team dynamic because I know I'm capable, but like I have crazy ADHD. I need to have someone or something that I am accountable to or
Sure.
for on both sides of the spectrum, like, and me being a coach and me being a team
Yeah.
member, both things. So with a team, it's really good for that accountability piece and to help figure out what are your goals.
Yep.
Like when I started in real estate, I don't know. I remember someone that was in charge of our Ignite class, which is like, the new
Mhm.
kind of training for new agents. And they're like, how much do you want to make? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, my W-2 job I had before in development, I was in real estate development. I think I was making like 40,000 plus bonus. So I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. They're like, what about $100,000? I'm like, is that even possible? Like back, I mean, like that was like mind boggling to
Yeah.
me. And so with meeting agents now, like it was 10 years ago, but I still remember that feeling. But it's like helping them figure out what their goals are. And they don't have to be
Correct.
crazy. That's the other thing. I feel like there's a lot of pressure and being like, there's no ceiling. You can make, but like helping them figure that out. And it's okay, here's what you want to do. How do we get there? And really breaking it down. So in looking for a team, make sure that there is some sort of coaching because you'd be surprised. In some of these teams, you don't get anything. Like they just are like, here,
Yeah. Or they
we're going
shouldn't
to
be team
take,
leaders.
well, correct. But they're, like, give me however much of your check and, we'll give you our name and branding, but that's about it. So having a good coaching guidance and accountability,
Yep.
um, and then having a good back of house, so good administrative staff, someone that has already created the systems. Because again, like that is something, could I do it? Sure. I would never be able to sell what I sell if I was responsible for doing all of that.
Correct. Yeah, you couldn't ramp up fast enough. You'd have to start
No
from.
way. No way. And so, because I get that question all the time, why are you still like part of a
Yeah.
team after all this time? Because it is rare. It is. But that's why I have all the support. And so for new agents looking, thinking about a team, I think it's a great place to not just start, but to
Yeah.
stay and grow, and also find a team that is open to growth opportunities and that isn't so, you want them
Yeah.
to be structured, but to be open to new ideas too.
That makes sense. 100%. I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%. Yeah. So, I think one of the things that's made you successful, either in, time wealth or money wealth, or even like kind of serving your soul, is like you're really involved in your community. And so I know that always translates into business, but it also, I think people that enjoy it. So how have you kind of
Yeah.
navigated being involved and working in real estate without being too overly salesy?
Well, real estate is just about relationships.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people ask, like, what's the secret sauce to your business? And it's just, again, it's creating relationships and putting work in. Part of the reason I succeeded in real estate from the beginning was because I'd already created a community of really great people. Like, I moved here in 2013, right after I graduated from college. I didn't know anybody. So it's not like, because when people are like, oh, well, I'm new to the market, I don't know anyone. I didn't know anybody. And I
Right.
was 22. I was poor, a recent college graduate. I had no idea what I was doing with my life
Yeah.
when I moved here. And so I just joined a young professionals
Yeah.
networking group. And that's really what started me. Like, that's how I made friends. Like,
Yep.
I didn't even join it for professional relationships. I
Yeah.
was like, I need friends. I need someone to hit up happy hour with. And then it really created from that. And so, but in recent years, because I've done the young professional thing, which was like an offshoot of the chamber, and I've done some other things, but I'm trying to get back into more groups where volunteering and giving back, because I just feel like Chattanooga, I feel like I need to like do a spot for the city and be
Do
like,
it.
you need to
Do
pay
it.
me, because I am Chattanooga's biggest spokesperson.
That's awesome.
I love it. My best friend moved here from Florida. My parents moved here from Florida. I'm trying to get all my people here. It's just such a special
Yeah.
city. And so now in my networking groups, my professional groups, I'm trying to do things that give back it to the city that has given so much to me.
Sure.
And then you meet other people that have that same mindset. Most of these groups are professional. So like, yes, you talk about business, but like my Rotary Club, like our big thing is planting trees in some of our
Okay.
downtown areas where it used to be super industrial. Everything got tainted with lead. Everything's getting now remediated, and we're trying to like build these places back up. And I live in one of the neighborhoods that it's serving. So
That's
it's
awesome.
really cool. And it's cool because, again, it is a professional group, but at the same time, it's like you don't really, I mean, yeah, you can talk about business, but that's not the thing. Yet you still get business from it
Yep. Yeah.
because the people in that group legitimately care. And the difference is, we've had people that visit that lead with, well, I'm here to like make connections. And everyone's like, wrong group. We're not that group, But it's all about being genuine, because people aren't dumb. If you are in it just to make more money or to just get you to that next level and that's it. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money
Sure.
and be successful. But if that is the end all be all for you, I think you need to rethink some things.
Yeah, you get that, what they call it, commission breath, right? People can.
Commission? I've never heard that, but that's really good. I'm totally stealing that.
Well, I'm a little off of the list of questions, but you said you're the biggest cheerleader. Like they should pay you for being a
Yes,
Chattanooga like cheerleader, right? So
100%.
how do you feel about it? I see a lot of agents that get into it and they go, I'm just going to go all social media and I think it's going to bring me business, which I don't necessarily think works. And then you have some that stay totally off of social media. So how have you well, I guess you should ask, have you navigated social media with being the Chattanooga cheerleader, or you just do it
Oh my gosh,
on your
no.
own?
I mean, I'm known as on my team as like the world's worst millennial. I'm not good at social media.
Right.
We just hired a new marketing person to like, I'm like, help me. Like, I don't know. Like, it takes me an hour to do like a simple reel. I don't
Right.
know how these young kids are doing it. And like, just, I don't know where they have the time. I know I need to get better because again, it's like that is like AI, that's where
Sure.
things are. But at the same time, I sold 31 million last year and I'm
Damn.
terrible at social media. So that shows you that you don't have to
Right.
be an expert. It is a good tool because it keeps you top of mind and people, because like right now I'm like, oh my gosh, I have like 12 posts that I have forgotten to do. And like eventually I'll get to them. And
Yep.
the only reason I do it is to like just from like, oh yeah, people, I do still sell houses. At this point, people know me, they know I'm in real estate. But in the
Yeah.
beginning, I know it is really important to like
Sure.
remind people. But I also want to remember like, hey, just because I have a 2-year-old doesn't mean that I mean, listen, I had a record year after having a baby. But yeah, it's a good tool. I have not mastered it. I'm trying. Yeah. So maybe in the next year, I'll get better at it.
Well, I think you bring up a really good point. And there's agents in my office that are like, they try. I'm like, just stop trying. Like, you're doing fine. Like, leave it alone. Whatever's working is working. But then you have
Right.
the opposite where newer agents put so much emphasis in social media that they neglect the actual networking and conversations. And there's a stat
Yes.
out by NAR from their home seller profile, and it's like I think less than 5% of people choose an agent without having a connection to them from social media. Like, sorry, they choose them from social media without having a connection first.
Right.
So
I find that's rare. Again, I do it because again, I need to stay relevant on there just so people can see like, wow, she's in real estate. So,
yeah,
it's how we
100%.
just keep up with what people are doing, in all aspects of life. I also like I don't post a lot of personal stuff either. It's just not part of my day-to-day thing. It never
Yeah,
has been. It probably never will be. I finally posted some pictures of my son the other day and people are like, "Oh my gosh, he's humongous. Like I haven't seen him in forever." I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And so yeah, and I get caught up in that too because I'm like, man, like I could be doing so much more. And also, I think right now, being in a weird, nuanced market and things are staying on the market longer,
yeah,
sellers are looking to be like, well, what's your social media presence? Because I
right.
think there's this like
Mhm.
eh, again, when's the last time when you're like, I want to buy a house? Do you go to Instagram to buy a house?
No.
No. But that's what sellers are like, well, what are you doing to market my house? I'm like, pricing is your number one marketing tool. But they still want to see all the bells and whistles. And I get it because like they're on the off chance, whatever. But still, like, I think there's just so much pressure around that. And if people actually look into the numbers, it wouldn't
Sure.
justify.
Yeah. Not at all. But I did
No.
see there's a younger lady in my market that she's young and she's doing well, but she took a listing and she took all her stats from social media and said, "Here's what I'm doing to market your house, like 10,000 views and 10,000." Like, it sounds cool, but like we're in like
But what
TikTok
does it do?
right? But so I think that's where you're probably getting that because all these I think they're younger, but whoever agents are
Right.
doing this and going, "We had 5 million impressions." Yeah, but they were all in China or India or wherever they were. Like, it doesn't make sense. But I think that's what we're gonna have to start running up against. Either you start doing that, so it looks like you're doing something because that's gonna be the new standard. Maybe I don't know.
I hope not. I hope, the pendulum swing with everything. I hope we've
For
gone
sure.
so far this way
Yep.
that it starts to come back and people realize like it's not healthy to be online that much.
Yep. No doubt.
And again, it's, there's times where I'm like, wow, this person's marketing is great. And then you actually look at their sales and they've
Yeah.
sold 2 houses in the last year. And you're like,
Yeah. Rocking. All right. So last question: if you could give one piece of advice to any agent in their first 3 years, like just one, that's the only thing they could get from you, what would it be? I know we kind of talked about this already, but I think it's always important to kind of reiterate.
okay, best advice for someone in their first 3 years.
Yep.
Okay. I love that I like prep some of these questions and I have not like looked at my sheet or like gone anything on this. Okay. One thing, learn how to talk to people.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, it sound like I said, my business is there's no secret sauce. I have no like crazy thing that, algorithm that's like getting me
Yep.
clients and this. No, it's just relationships and they have to be authentic relationships. You have to first legitimately care. If you are only getting into real estate because you want money or you're bored of your other job, don't do it. Just don't do it. I could be doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm a huge connector. I'm a matchmaker. That's what I do. I love it. Whether it's platonic, I also have some success stories with romantic partners. A matchmaker, so that can be my side gig.
There you
But
go.
but no, like you have to like want to truly connect people with something that's really important. Home is a really important thing, but it's not like I'm just so obsessed with houses. It's why I do it. I really deeply care for people. And this is how I can create a career around that. But with doing that, you have to be good with people. You have to like people and you need to learn how to have a conversation and to be able to convert certain conversations. And I'm not talking about everything you do, try to convert that person. No, but you need to learn how to build trust with people. You need to learn how to ask what good questions and learn how to uncover motivation. And then again, when the time is appropriate, convert that into an appointment. Again, there's no secret sauce other than practice and being authentic in that. But you have to get in front of people to practice. Join groups. It doesn't have to be professional groups either. Like I'm in a book club. I've gotten business from book club, not because I joined a book club to get business, but because again, you create real relationships with people. Yep. People will then know you, like you, and trust you, and will want to use you. It's as simple as that. So that's part one. Part two, be a sponge. Learn everything you can about the market. I mean, we already talked about it earlier. Lean on those mentors, agents in your office. Again, people are way more willing to help than you probably think. So learn as much as you can, because if you aren't confident in what you're talking about, you'll never be able to convert a conversation.
True. That's very true. It's very, very true. Well, obviously it works. You did 31 million last year, and pretty sure your price point's probably close to ours, around 300,000 average, if I had to guess. That's a ton of damn houses. Obviously, you're spitting some truth and you're walking at the same time. Well, you're doing great. And I appreciate you being on here and taking the time, because I know time is valuable and you got things to be doing. And hopefully some people take this to heart and either decide not to get in the business, which is okay.
I know. Right. Don't want to scare people either, but I just want to be honest about it's a job. It's not a hobby where you just like looking at homes.
Correct. Yes. And you got to, like you said, you got to like people, or be able to turn it on and connect. Be like, that's it. I'm just thinking the whole time, like, thank God I waited tables and worked in restaurants all through high school and college, because that's what's allowed me to do what I'm doing now. Because I had to have conversations.
Yep. So what it's all about.
Thank you. I appreciate you.